All of your days, really the entirety of your life, is made up of a series of choices that you make on a moment by moment basis. When your alarm goes off in the morning, you can either get out of bed because that's what you said that you were going to do and you have things to work towards, and you know that having the most amount of time in the day is what's best to accomplish all of those things. Or you can hit the snooze button because maybe you're still feeling tired or groggy or out of it, or the night before you were up later than you intended on being, so you feel that you need more rest. When you go to pick your food, you can stick to what it is that's on your diet. You could follow your macros and choose to stay under the amount of calories that you were supposed to consume because you have a goal of having abs and being ripped for summer or whatever it is that people like to do. Or you could give in to your cravings and eat the food that sounds better. You can order something from DoorDash rather than eating the meal that you had prepped. You can hit the drive-thru on the way to work or wherever it is that you're going throughout the day. When it comes time to go to the gym, you can either go do the workout that you have that's a part of your program and follow the sets and the reps and the exercises because you know that's what's going to not only take you towards your physique goals, but make you stronger as a person as a whole. It's going to increase your discipline. It's going to increase your ability to delay gratification. And it's going to show you that you have the ability to keep your word to yourself and keep pushing, and therefore increase the confidence that you have in yourself. Or you could put it off until the next day because in the moment you're not feeling motivated. Maybe you're still feeling sore. Maybe you just really aren't feeling like doing it that day. When it comes to the content that you consume, whether that be on social media or on TV or even books, you can opt for something that's going to grow and expand your mind, something that's going to give you new perspectives, help you improve your mindset, maybe give you some sort of more detailed steps to add to the roadmap of the path that you are walking down to get to the life that you want to live. Or you can opt for something mindless and entertaining. You can scroll the gossip pages. You can comment on the viral videos of people doing nothing that has anything to do with anything. You can watch the reality TV. You can watch the sitcoms. You can watch the action movies. When you're out and about in the world, maybe someone cuts you off in traffic, you could keep your composure and understand that you screaming at this person isn't going to do anything other than make you angry and ruin the rest of your day. Or you could give in to those impulses and sit there like the crazy people on the street do, screaming at the person beside them, even though they won't hear it and they know that they're not going to hear it at all. All of these are choices that you are presented with. Every single aspect of your day is the choices that you make. And you could do what most people do and pick what it is that feels best in the moment. You can eat the shitty foods. You can skip the workouts. You can watch the Netflix. You can yell at the person in traffic. You can be short with your girlfriend, your wife, your kids, whatever, because you're in a bad mood and they rubbed you the wrong way. And while those might feel good while it is that you're doing them, when you make those choices, you're also choosing what's not best for you in the long run. When you make those choices, you're choosing to be fat. You're choosing to be weak. You're choosing to rot your brain. You're choosing to put negative energy out into the world, which at some point is going to come back to you. And while it might feel great while it's happening, ultimately it will not be great in the long run. And these are the choices that you are faced with. Throughout the day, thoughts are going to pop in your head. Not all of them will be favorable. There's going to be negative thoughts. There's going to be the crazy situations that people come up with. What if this happens? What if that happens? And it's always bad stuff. And while you can't control the thought that pops up, you could choose what it is that you do with them. Do you indulge them? Do you sit there and wallow in your negativity? Do you play out the worst case scenario and make yourself anxious? Do you focus on the bad memories that you have and amplify your past and this trauma that everyone loves? Or do you recontextualize them? Do you put a positive spin on the negative thoughts when they come? Do you counter the bad scenarios that pop up into your head with the good scenarios? All of these choices that you make, again, shape how it is that you think as a whole. Everybody has negative thoughts. That's life. But it's what you choose to do with them that matters. And most people choose to foster them and choose to grow them. Again, those are choices. Whenever the bad thought pops into your head and you counter it with a good thought, at first the negative thought will push back on you. But the more that you choose to continue countering the negative thoughts with positive thoughts, the more your mind will naturally skew towards the positive. And when you have positive thoughts, you have a positive life. But this is all a result of the choices that you make. You can't control everything that happens to you. Throughout your day, situations will pop up that you have no control over. Maybe you'll go to work and your boss will yell at you. You can't control that happening, but you can control how it is that you respond to it. If you let him get you all worked up and ruin the rest of your day, that is what it is that you've chosen to do. But if you choose to take it in stride and not let that affect your mood and affect your outlook on the world and the affect how it is that you choose to conduct yourself the rest of the day, that will pay you back by making you stronger as a whole. Being able to keep your composure will take you very far in life. And it is also that a skill that you cultivate through all of those difficult moments that arise. No one is just naturally able to conduct themselves under pressure. That comes from the choices that they make while being pressurized, but most people give into that pressure and they collapse under it, which is why they cannot handle it. All of these things are a result of the choices that you make. And every choice that you make is a declaration to the universe of what you truly want. You're not just choosing what you do in the moment, despite how it might seem while you're making the choice. You're choosing who you want to become and what you want to become in life. And you will get every single one of your choices answered because the universe is very giving. So when you choose to eat the bad food, you're not just choosing to eat the bad food, you're also choosing to be fat and unhealthy. When you choose to skip the workout, you're not just choosing to skip the workout, you're choosing to be weak and not follow through on your goals. When you choose to sleep in, you're not just choosing to sleep in, you're choosing to trade in some of the time that could be used to better your life, to continue resting. All of these choices matter in the larger context of things, and it's really easy to zoom in on the specific moment and think that that's all that it is. But who you are as a whole is a collection of different choices. Wherever it is that you are in life right now is a result of the choices that you have made along the path that you have chosen to walk. If you are a fat person, it is because you have made the choice over and over again, moment to moment, to be a fat person. If you're a poor person, it is because you have made the choice over and over and over and over again to be a poor person. If you're depressed, it's because you've made the choice over and over and over again to be a depressed person. It was all of those little decisions that you were faced with that you thought it was just this one time. It's not just this one time. All of this builds and all of this compounds and it adds together to make you who it is that you are. The people who are in better situations than you have chosen over and over again to be better. The people in better shape have chosen over and over again to be in shape. It's not a one-time thing. It's a day-to-day, moment-to-moment, minute-to-minute, second-to-second decision that results in all of these things. So if you aren't where you want to be, you need to take an honest look at the choices that you are making and understand that you are choosing to be less than when you could be greater. Back in the day, I don't know if they still have it now, but when I was a kid, they had these choose your own adventure books. The ones that I'm familiar with are Goosebumps. I'm sure they had it in other genres / categories of books as well, but it doesn't really matter. Anyway, the point is, they had these choose your own adventure books. And for the most part, that is how life works. In the book, you walk into, I don't know, the book starts off you walking into some sort of mansion, big house that they've described as seeming scary and sketchy or whatever, and then you read a couple paragraphs, and they say, and you come up with a choice. Do you go through the door to the left, or do you go through the door to the right? If you pick the door on the left, go to page 16. If you pick the door on the right, go to page 32. And then you find out what happens from that choice that you made, just like in real life. However, in the book, when you made a choice that you didn't like, you could keep your finger on the page that you're on, flip ahead to page 16 or whatever I said, and see what happens. Do you walk through that door and everything is fine, or do you walk through that door and die? If you see that you walk through that door and die, you could flip right back to where it is that you were and pick the other option and go to page 32 and see, okay, that's the much better scenario. In life, You don't get to do that though. Once you make the choice and the consequence happened, the consequence has already happened. And there is not a single thing that you can do to change that. It doesn't matter how it is that you feel about it. It doesn't matter how it is or how sad it is that you are about it or how much you regret it. None of it matters. It took place and now it has taken place. You can look back and say, I should have made this other choice. It doesn't matter. There's nothing that you can do to undo what it is that you've already done, and there's nothing that you can do to undo the effects from what it is that you've already done. All you can do from it is learn from it and move on. In the books, you have the option to be reckless with your decision making and just pick either or. In real life, you do not have that same luxury, because again, if you make the choice to overeat all of the time, you're going to wind up fat. There's nothing that you could do to undo that. Now, you can make different choices moving forward and you can lose all of that weight, but there's nothing that you could do to undo the fact that you made yourself fat holistically. You will always have been fat at that time. You can reverse course and you can course correct for whatever it is that you do, whatever situation it is that you have put yourself in. But if you are more cognizant of the decisions that you are making in the moment, if you are more cognizant of all of the individual choices that you make, you can avoid putting yourself in that situation to beginning, because in the book, you have no real way of knowing what's going to happen when you flip to whatever page the book is going to tell you to flip to. You just have to go there and then find out. But in real life, you have a very good idea of what it is that's going to happen when you make the choices that you make. When you put off the work that you know that you are supposed to do, you understand that that's counter to your goals. So you have an idea of the effect, maybe not the extent of the effect, but you have an idea of the effect as a whole in real life, which is the advantage that you have. Deep down, everybody knows what it is that they should and should not be doing, even if it's not in the tiny individual little details. You might not know the exact workout plan that you should follow if you want to get in shape, but you know that you need to be working out if you want to get in shape, and you know that choosing not to work out will not help you get in shape. You might not know the exact macros or calories that you should be eating if you want to get lean, but you understand that you have to stop eating McDonald's and Taco Bell all of the time if you want to get lean. So when you make these choices to do these things, you are also on some level, whether or not people would like to admit it, fully aware of the choice that you are making. But most people make these choices anyway and then want to blame it on every single other thing. But they also know that they are lying to themselves. You are lying to yourself when you tell yourself that you don't know what it is that you should be doing and you don't know what it is that you are doing wrong. Everybody knows. That's what your conscience is. It is telling you all of the time whether or not what choice you are making is a good one. And this is why people wind up feeling depressed when they do all of these things that as a whole, they know are not conducive to their well-being and their growth and development as a person, because the back of their mind, their conscience is telling them you are making the wrong choices, and now you have to deal with the consequence of it, which is all of these mental health issues that people claim to have. All of that is a result of choices because they are making the choices necessary to have them. You could admit it to yourself. You could sit there and try to lie to yourself about it all that you would like. You could try and blame all of these external factors, but it's nonsense. At the end of the day, all of it is you. You can choose to be better or you can choose to be worse. In the moment, it is easiest to choose to be worse. It's easiest to indulge. It's easiest to chase the pleasure. It's easiest to procrastinate, to be lazy, to make excuses. But as a whole, those are the wrong choices because those are the choices that lead to the life that you do not want to live. In the moment, it's harder to choose to do the right thing. It's harder to choose to do the better thing. It's harder to choose self-control and discipline and accountability and hard work. But as a whole, those are the choices that are going to lead to the life that you would like to live. So if you are not where you want to be, it is because you have chosen to be there by choosing to do all of the things that lead you to be there. And what you can do, the only thing that you can do to fix that is to start making better choices, is to start choosing on a moment to moment basis to be better, even though it's hard, even though it sucks right now. But the pain up front is much better than the pain that you will get on the back end if you do all of the things that you know that you should not be doing. If you're not where you want to be, you have no one in this world to blame other than your choices, and you have the power to start choosing better now.